What is up, guys? So I thought I would do a little breakdown of my match losing sequence. I know people usually do breakdowns of stuff that they do well, but I thought it'd be pretty interesting to do a breakdown of what went wrong in this last match. It's a pretty cool sequence, actually. There's some interesting stuff that goes on, so I thought I would do a little breakdown, see if people thought so. So for some context, we are in overtime. So I won the first round, Arren won the second round, and if there's a draw, which obviously there is in this case, then it goes to overtime, 3 minutes. Whoever wins the overtime wins the match. So I am absolutely goosed at this point, by the way. I don't know what was going on. I was so fatigued. After round one, 5 minutes in, I was essentially gassed. I've got no idea what happened. Don't know if it's nerves. Don't know what's. I still can't breathe. Like 5 days later, like I can't take a full breath. So I'm fairly sure there's something medically wrong with me. But no excuses. I felt fine on the day until we were actually on the mat. So who knows? But anyway, we're in a little wrestling exchange here. We'll go through a little bit of the wrestling and then some of the sequences a little bit later on. So. Arren's currently beating me in the hand fight. I'm too tired, and I'm giving away easy underhooks. I'm giving away, my elbows are about as far away from my body as physically possible. I'm flat-footed. My head's high. Everything's wrong essentially. I've got no business wrestling at this point. I'm too tired, but I also got my guard passed pretty easily late into the last round. Again, due to fatigue, so I'm not comfortable at this point playing guard either. So I'm in a bit of a catch-22. Can't wrestle because I'm too tired. Arguably can't wrestle anyway. And also guard is not where I want to be, so it's not looking good for me. Arren, he's got this high underhook. It looks like he's looking for like a far side knee tap. I use his driving momentum to go into an uchi. I actually get quite a nice setup here. I get a really good far tricep grip. I get a nice bit of hip penetration. I get a really strong lift from this overhook, but I just don't have enough pop. You can see I put a good bit of weight onto his far leg. I get a bit of lift. I break his posture down pretty well. At this point, I should have cut my losses rather than go for like this highlight reel throw and try and actually break him down. I should have cut my losses and just snapped into a front head. That would have been probably the better choice. I think the posture is not quite broken down enough. You see we're sort of equal head height here. But what you'll see here, Arren does something pretty nice and pretty cool. I've not really seen people do this before, or at least I've not had much experience of dealing with people do this. So we'll see. You see how Arren swung his underhook over in front of my face, and now look at the head height. All right, so you've got Arren's head height, it's here, my head height is down here. You see we've gone from equal head height, and arguably in this uchi position I should be breaking Arren's posture down lower than mine. We've completely reversed that with this swap of grips. So Arren's breaking my posture, actively breaking my posture off of my own uchi, which is really, really cool. And we'll see here, it actually breaks my posture enough that I have to post, and that, look at the difference. Arren's up here, I'm down here. So, and we'll see here, this goes exactly how you'd expect it to go. Arren's going to snap into a front head, and yeah, it's game over from there. I grab a single leg, pretty shitty, desperate single leg attempt. Arren wraps the front head. At this point, my main concern is darces and anacondas. I'm not too worried about guillotines at this point, to be honest, and also not really that bothered about the back take attempts. I'm more worried about getting submitted, because obviously if you get submitted, that's the end of the match. If I can, even if I get into a bad position, like if he starts jumping around to my back, I'm pretty comfortable defending from there, and hopefully I can maybe pull something out of the bag. But if he submits me, that's obviously end of the road. I don't feel like he's going to sit back on a guillotine, so Arren's not showing any inclination to be wanting to play from his back during this match. I wouldn't expect so. He comes from a gym with pretty solid top players. They pass and they wrestle, they take down, they pass. and sitting into the guillotine is not something I would really expect him to do. He hasn't showed it during this match either, so I'm comfortable with that. He looks to break me down. He takes this nice 100% grip. He blocks the hip. He's doing a really good job of controlling me. I managed to pop back to my hips. Now from here, this is where I want to be. So I want to be aligned with my opponent. I want to be in a straight line. I can either sit into a guard, or so build some height, sit into a guard, or I can start going for my one of my favourite moves from here, which is the sucker drag. So we'll see the sucker drag in a sec. I don't want to play guard at this point. I'm not in a guard playing mood. So I'm looking for hand fights, and just to make sure I'm safe from the DOS and Anaconda. And you see I get this tricep grip on the choking arm. Okay, so whenever someone's in a head and arm grip in front headlock, they'll obviously have an arm which is around your neck. If we take a deep tricep grip on that arm and swim your head in the so away from that arm, so I'm swimming my head in this direction, we will be able to pop out and start spinning to the back. Sorry. So there we go. I spin to the back. Arren does a good job of blocking my hips. I've got good head height here. I've got a far lat grip or a far waist grip, and I've just got to clear this arm now. Okay, and then make sure I'm staying connected to the back. I keep a lot of pressure on Arren's upper body. You can see here our heads are really close. Arren's beat me at the hip height battle, so my hips are all the way down here. Arren's are all the way up here. So this battle now is really important for the head height. If Arren manages to beat me in the head height battle, I've lost the back. So I need to keep all this pressure on his upper body to keep that head low, and try and build my own hip height or my own head height just to get chest to back. So you can see here I build enough hip height that lets me build more head height, and I get this rear body lock. So here's where things start going wrong. Early in the match we had a very similar sequence, which I'll show a little bit later on, where Arren sort of committed to this Kimura grip from this rear body lock. Now, I'm not a huge fan of this technique because it's kind of like a bit of a coin flip. Like, you either, manage to hit this Kimura off this back body lock and you look like a hero, or you just essentially give your back, and there's not really much middle ground here. There's not much room for defense. You're essentially committed to that sequence. Either one of those two things happen. And I would say, to be honest, that the back take, it's not a 50-50, so it's a coin flip, but I wouldn't say it's a 50-50. If we went from this position 10 times, I would probably put money on the guy on the back getting the back sort of 8 times out of 10. Here it doesn't go so well for me, but I'll show you some of the things why some of the reasons why it didn't go so well. So when I'm on his back body lock, I don't like jumping to the back. I don't like jumping into seat belts and jumping my hooks, because as a heavyweight I can't really get a lot of good reps of this in the gym, because I think it's a dangerous sequence. If I fuck it up and jump into the side of someone's knee, they're not going to have a good day. So I prefer to break people down to like a quad pod, so either a turtle or a quad pod, and start attacking the back from there. So this near side hook is more just to block the knee and get him down onto his hands. What I hadn't taken stock of is that Arren had fully committed to this guillotine, this Kimura grip. Ideally, I'd like him to quad pod, to commit his hands to the mat and let go of this Kimura grip. But he essentially commits to it, and it forces forces him into like a Granby roll. And at this point, if we go back a little bit, sorry, 1 second. We can see here that I'm almost like my grip is slipping off to the side already. I'm not directly behind him. My hips are off to one side. I've got chest, I've got some chest to back, but it's not great chest to back. And as we're going over, I'm just losing more and more of this position. Again, I kind of blame fatigue a little bit for this. It's partially fatigue, partially I wasn't expecting Arren not to post. I was kind of expecting him to post. And at this point, my hips are fully disconnected. I'm essentially chest to ribs, so not chest to back. And I've got no good control of his lower upper body. So Arren can kind of rotate inside my back body lock. And this just gives him a great angle to start attacking his Kimura. At this point, I could potentially have recovered if I had managed to use this hook to drag Arren's knee down to the mat, down here. So if I'd have managed to insert this hook and then scoop my hips underneath Arren and shelve his hips, then there's potential for me to recover this position. But Arren scoots his hips out to the side, gets this lovely Kimura grip, essentially like a twister half guard right now, or like a reverse Kezi position. And I'm cooked. I'm done for. I do a nice bit of Kimura defense here, just to pop the Kimura grip off. So anytime you're in Kimura, if you can kind of work yourself onto your side and use that near side knee to get inside the elbow, so the knee that's closest to the Kimura inside the elbow, that's going to create this rotation pressure and let you free the arm. But I ended up in bump side control, and that was all she wrote really. I didn't have anything left. That was my last bit of juice. So I kind of just tried not to cough my lungs up and die. And Arren rode the rest of the round out in control positions. I don't really think he had any massively deep submission attempts throughout the round, but it was enough to take it, and then Arren took the match. Fair play to Arren. It was a really fun match. I had a great time, regardless of the result, and regardless of how shit I felt during the match. It was a fun match, really exciting. Arren's always an exciting fighter, and I genuinely look forward to watching his next match on Polaris. I'm looking forward to see who he gets next and see what he manages to do. Hopefully I can be there as well. Hopefully I can be fighting as well. Hopefully they have me back. I like to think that when people come to participate, like Arren did to the weekend, I can produce pretty exciting jiu-jitsu as well. Very different styles, but yeah, it was pretty cool. Last thing I want to do is quickly look at what should have happened, or what potentially what I would have liked to happen anyway. So this was a sequence earlier into round one. See, we're 2 minutes in. I get to this back body lock position, but I'm in a turtle now. So this is where I want to be. This is where I was trying to get to from the last sequence, but obviously wanted to be. And you can see here, Arren essentially commits to the same sequence. However, I managed to. I'm just a little bit quicker at this point in the match. I've got a little bit more pop, a little bit more pep, and I managed to beat the Kimura grip and complete the back take. And like I say, I would put money on the back take winning over the Kimura, kind of like 8 times out of 10. Especially if you're running on equal energy levels. But I think Arren was just a bit sharper than me at that point in the match, and it went his way. So see here, Arren commits to the Kimura grip. I throw a hook in. I throw my you see his elbow. This is his elbow here, looking to try and wrap that Kimura up. I've got really good hip connection. I've got really good upper body connection, chest to back. I've got his hip shelved, and there you go. See, I'm on his back. So that's how it should have gone. Wasn't to be, unfortunately, in the overtime round, and unfortunately that's when it really mattered as well. So, but yeah, that's the way the cookie crumbles, I'm afraid. But yeah, it was a really fun match. That was a really cool little sequence. There was a lot of kind of little technical battles there, and I've got a lot to take away. So props to Arren. I'm sure we'll see him again soon, and yeah, thanks for watching, and I'll catch you all next time. Peace.